everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I personally clean my cast iron skillet. I typically don't use it for things that get extremely stuck, so nothing too complicated to clean out in this video. In this pan, I did make homemade cornbread that didn't exactly not stick, but it did not make a huge mess. It left mostly just like a rim of crumbs around the edges. So what I'm doing here is just taking extremely hot water, as hot as the water in my sink will get, and I'm just rinsing it out. Then I take a sponge that's not super abrasive and it doesn't scratch, and I just take that and run it around the edges where those crumbs have stuck on, and anywhere on the bottom where I feel like it needs it. And then from there, rinse it out with super hot water again. Then I'm just gonna take a dish towel and kind of make sure that it doesn't drip everywhere. And then I bring it over to the countertop. Usually once I have it here on the countertop, I make sure that I'm using a dish towel that I don't mind getting a little dirty, because with wiping it off with one of my dish towels, it tends to get a little residue on there, brown or black residue from the pan. So with that being said, I just kind of wipe out the inside really quickly and then wipe around the edges, the handles. You want to make sure that you get all of the major water droplets off and really any moisture that you can. After I've wiped all the moisture off, I get my station set up for where I'm going to re-season the pan. Recently, I've been using coconut oil as opposed to avocado or olive oil. I used to use olive oil in my pans, and now I'm using coconut oil. I find that it has a higher smoke point. It doesn't make a mess whenever I'm cooking on the stove. It doesn't smoke as much. And then I'm just taking my cast iron kit, which I will link. I will place a link for a video in which I made that. Essentially, it's just old t-shirts cut up that I'm using, as opposed to a paper towel or a lint-free rag that still typically leaves tiny hairs, lint, whereas paper towels leave bits of paper towel left on the cast iron. This is just an old t-shirt that I'm using. And you saw the amount of coconut oil that I put on the t-shirt, and now I'm just coating the pan really well. Being careful not to use too much, although if I did see too much placed onto the pan, I do have a second rag in my quote-unquote cast iron kit, again just old t-shirts, that I will go around and I will wipe off the excess oil. I'm not going to leave it gooped up on there or caked on there, or even just like dripping wet with coconut oil. I am going to take the time to use an additional cloth to wipe off all of the excess coconut oil. And just as I was drying it in every place that I could imagine, I'm also placing the coconut oil, or rubbing the coconut oil on handles, on the bottom, in crevices, all over the inside and edges. I do want to make sure that it's well seasoned with the coconut oil. Now again, this is the way that I clean and season my cast iron skillets. I know there's probably a way more proper way to do it. There are quite a few channels here on YouTube that can teach you every single scientific fact, every single proper way to do something with cast iron, and those are excellent resources. If you just type in cast iron care in YouTube, you will find so many videos. And one channel is actually called Cast Iron Cookware, and that gentleman is super informative. I love watching his videos and I've learned a lot from him. Alright, and this is the second rag that I have in my quote-unquote cast iron kit. Again, just a t-shirt. And I am just rubbing off the excess coconut oil. This is kind of a tip and trick that I learned from that YouTube channel, Cast Iron Cookware. He wanted to make it a point in a few of his videos that you do want to wipe off the excess oil. You don't want it just dripping wet or super oily. You want to wipe it off because this is a porous, it's a porous pan. So you do want to take the time to wipe off the excess, because even though it is porous, it's not going to soak up everything, okay? So we want to wipe off the excess. Make sure you get all the little lint pieces, little hairs that you may find on there. And then from there, you are good to go. You have cleaned successfully and re-seasoned your cast iron skillet. And now I'll show you where I'm going to store these, or where I typically store them in my kitchen. Hey there, after that cleaning video, I just wanted to show you where I typically keep my cast iron, and that is that alluded drawer underneath your oven. So I keep it, when I get done cleaning it, I keep a towel down here just because that's metal, and then I just place my 2 cast irons here. So once it has been cleaned, since I've made that video, I've actually used my cast iron again. I've been using it a lot more frequently lately, and I really like them. So as you can see, it needs to be cleaned again. So I'll just go through that whole process that I just showed you, and once I'm done, I'll just store it underneath the oven. And that's where I keep them. It makes it really nice and easy for when I'm cooking. I can just bend down and get the cast iron that I need, or cast irons if I'm using both. So yeah, that is all I have for cleaning my cast iron. And that was for an easy clean. I may make a video for when it proves to be a little bit more difficult, when things are stuck on there. I may make a video of how I go about cleaning that, because it can be complicated and it sometimes makes you not want to use the cast iron, because it is such a manual labor thing. A lot of people just want to throw things in the dishwasher, and I am one of those people, I'm not gonna lie. I hate washing dishes, but when it comes to my cast iron, I don't mind, because I really enjoy cooking with it. I want to keep it nice. I want to, you know, I want to keep it a workhorse of the kitchen. So with that being said, I will go ahead and end this video now. Thank you for watching, and stick around if you want to see more tips or see what I'm cooking in the kitchen or what I'm doing out in the garden. I hope you'll have a great day.